What's going on, everyone? I'm not dead. I guess I should say that. Yeah, I think that's good enough. And, yeah, previous stream, big stream. It was long, and a lot of people showed up, and a lot of people for me is like 5 people, so I'll take whatever I can get. That was a great stream. And I had people, like, stopping in, leaving, stopping in. There were lots of people coming in. Big, lot of talking to chat, the whole shebang. That was a great stream, got a lot of subs out of it, got a lot of other stuff out of it, a lot of views, a lot of stuff, a lot of support. It's very nice of everyone to do that. But let's get to the video. First, this is a spreadsheet I've been working on. It is a spreadsheet of every Destiny weapon ever. Includes D1, D2, exotics, legendaries, rares, uncommons, and commons. And for those who don't know what either of these two things are, that's greens and whites. Yeah. So the reason I made this was just to see on paper how many weapons are on Destiny ever. Like, holy crap, there's this much stuff that's been in this game. Like, oh my god. And it's not just sorted, like, based off the type of weapon, so like just sidearms here. It's based off of their slots, so primary, special, and heavy. So obviously, in D1, sidearms were not primary weapons. They were special weapons. So Trespasser and Drake's Promise are down here, but Rat King will be up here. Big car passing by. That's cool. A way to interrupt my video. Yeah. We also got Sleeper Simulant, Fusion Rifles. Fusion Rifle in D1, Linear Fusion Rifle in D2. Big difference. And there's also inclusive to all sorts of other types of things. So grenade launchers, there's fighting line in the primary slot, no land in the primary slot, universal in the primary slot, but all in different ways, different games. But this is where you can notice how many more weapons there were in D1. Like, let's take, for example, over here, we got pulse rifles. We got, what is it, like 9 or 10 here? And then there's 4. Actually, this is 8 in D1 and 4 in D2. But I think this is a matter of quality over quantity. Graviton Lance is a gravity gun. Vigilance Wing is an Osiris gun. Outbreak and Bad Juju return to us. So, and these are all kind of, a lot of these weapons are cool, but they're not that interesting. But you can see how, like, many more weapons there were in D1, including what was and what wasn't. So let's just say you forgot submachine guns weren't in D1. You could come to the spreadsheet, take a look, and see all the way over here at the end, Risk Runner, Huckleberry, Tarabah, but there were none in D1. Just similar to this, we can do the same thing with legendary weapons, where there is an obscene amount. Like primaries, specials, heavies. And I kept everything the same, so sidearms, not in D1 in the primary slot, grenade launchers, sniper rifles, shotguns, fusion rifles, which was Vex here in the exotic slot. None of that exists in the legendary slot, but it's still there. So, why do I have all this dead space? That is because they're still part of the game, but none of them exist. So let's just say in Shadowkeep, we get a primary legendary fusion rifle for whatever reason. That would be put right here. So yeah, and you can even see like some of the issues with D2. How, let's just say in Forsaken, bows were introduced. Obviously, we barely have any. We have, what is it, like 6 right there? That's not too much. Like, what the heck? And looking at hand cannons, we go all the way down from row 3 all the way down to row 49. That's 46 hand cannons in D1. And that's about 40, it's like 40, about 40 hand cannons in D1, or D2, my bad. Like, seriously, and like, look at all this stuff. And I constantly update this when new stuff comes out. So you're able to see all this cool stuff. So, like, there are guns you probably never heard of. Like, some of the D1 weapons, like 123 Syzygy. I actually didn't know that existed, and I played D1. And there's stuff like the Party Favor, and Bad Seed Down, and the Super Pox VLO. I don't know what those last two weapons are. They're pulse rifles, but I couldn't tell you for my life. And there's no submachine guns, that's why this whole slot is empty, and there's all sorts of stuff here. And we go down to special weapons. There's so many special weapons. Like, grenade launchers, obviously, only in D2. Sidearms in the special slot, only in D1. And there's not even that many sidearms. Like, seriously. And look at this fusion rifle. You can notice there are much less weapons in D2. But I think that was better. Because a lot of these D1 weapons were reskins, which wasn't my favorite thing. Also, I haven't counted, so let's just say Harrowed Silence of Arn was brought back into a Rise of Iron style of weapon when the Moments of Triumph came out. But I only put it once because there's no point in putting it more than once. It's false inflation. It's false inflation to the amount of weapons because they're in essence the same weapon. Now, trace rifles, obviously not in either game for the special slot. So yeah, and wow, someone is slamming the door outside my room here. But look at all this. There's so much stuff here. So many items. And, excuse me, there's all these machine guns in D1. 5. That's it. I mean, we got Avalanche from Dawning, Hammerhead from the Forge, Delirium as the Gambit Pinnacle, and Bane of Sorrow and Fixed Odds from Opulence. Like, really? That's it? And then there's all this. A lot of empty space, but you know what? That's okay. Because getting it really gets more interesting when you get to the rares, commons, and uncommons. Like, there are these weapons. Ever heard of the Nifty Biscuit? That's a really good name, Bungie. I like that. Nifty_biscuit. And there's just so much, like, random weapons that you've never heard of, but these are all the weapons ever to exist. Like, what the heck? And let's just say, there's all these snipers. I mean, here we have the Eumolpius SR3, or the Civilian Applications, or the Doom Echo, and there's only 3 here. I mean, come on. And I mean, for shotguns, I think I'm 90% confident that I marked all the slugs with this parenthesis slug. So, as you can see here, in D1, there were no slugs in the rare slot, but there is one D2 slug shotgun. I am still on the board that slug shotgun should be their own weapon type, but that's, I guess, not. And then heavy weapons, swords, there's only 2 here, but none in D1 for rares. A lot of rocket launchers. I mean, gotta love me the Duchess, or the Overlord, or Wolf's Bane. But I mean, hey, what are you gonna do? And all these weapons. And we get the uncommons, a lot less weapons, a lot more compact here. But there's just so many interesting things, like grenade launcher, Resilient People from D2. I didn't know that was a thing. I really didn't. And there's all sorts of stuff here. Because apparently, Xerxes C. I love that name. The Harbinger. And then there's all these. It's just so cool to see. I cannot give this enough, like, praise, or I cannot give Bungie enough praise for, like, the amount of stuff that's in these games, and seeing it on paper all together is so crazy. And then we got commons, and you gotta get this. All the test weapons are here from D1. Traveler's Chosen and Traveler's Chosen Damaged are here, because they're both white weapons. Last Dance is here from the beginning of D2. You can only use it for like 10 minutes, and I still put it here. And there's even Marshall A, that weapon that glitched out with the Necrochasm thing. Yeah, it's here. And then we got all this other stuff. Like, no green, there were barely any green weapons. There's not even a green fusion rifle in D2. And then we got the Tengoku. And then we got all these heavy weapons as well. D2, Traitor's Fate. That's a sword. That's wacky. That's wacky as hell. But here's the best part. D1 had a camera in the heavy slot. You can't beat that. You can't beat that. Well, I guess you can. Let's see what D2 has to offer in the future. I have spent way too much time overviewing and explaining this beautiful spreadsheet. But if you'd like to check it out, I will leave a link in the description. And if you enjoyed this video, leave a like, a comment, subscribe, hit that bell button after you subscribe so you get them notifications. Yeah. And then don't forget to share it with your friends. Because if you enjoy it and you think your friend will enjoy it, they might as well give them a try, you know? So, with all this, check the spreadsheet out. Shameless plug stuff, subscribe, like, whatever. You all have a good day.